It was a huge surprise to me, and I'm sure many other Detroit Lions fans out there, when the Detroit Lions decided to bring CJ Moore back after he served his year-long suspension for gambling on an NFL game. Now, he knew very well he was not supposed to do that, but I was completely caught off guard because up until coming into year 4, the Detroit Lions didn't do things like that. Not that CJ Moore is a bad person or he didn't make a colossal mistake. There have been things that have been much worse than what he was guilty of doing. But just the fact that he disregarded the organization, disregarded rules, blatantly ignored them, to me, bringing him back was a surprise. Now, I know that others in the comment section were surprised, and then there were those that weren't. So for me, it did shed a new light on who the Detroit Lions are and what kind of person that they're looking for. And a lot of people in the comment section said that CJ Moore made a mistake. Let me remind everybody what a mistake is. A mistake is when you unintentionally do something that you weren't supposed to do, right? We all have kids. A lot of us have kids. And the favorite thing that the child like to use is, I made a mistake, or it was a mistake. And you have to correct that child and say, no, it wasn't a mistake. You knew exactly what you were doing. You made a choice. And that's what CJ Moore did. I must admit, I am happy that he's back. He's a special team ace. I'm surprised that he's back, but I'm happy that he's back. Now, he was one of the players to get in front of the media today, and we're going to do something new this year. We're going to start bringing in entire segments from the Detroit Lions YouTube channel, and depending on how long they are, we're going to react to them in their fullest, because me reading the words is one thing, you hearing them from the actual player is another. CJ Moore, very remorseful. He understands the second chance and the opportunity that he was given. Now, today he was in front of the media, and 95% of his questions were about the gambling suspension and how he addressed it. What did he do during that time? So let's take a listen to CJ Moore and hear what he had to say about the suspension and going forward as a Detroit Lion.
How'd you stay busy?
Just training, being a father, becoming a better husband, growing closer to God. That kept me busy.
You obviously got suspended for betting on NFL games. Can you explain what happened? Any rights that you have? What's your I guess.
I just failed to hold myself accountable to just not I shouldn't have been gambling in the first place or anything like that. So I failed in that area. Yeah.
We noticed a lot of, it seemed like there was an injury theme that was common about it. Was there a boredom, attached to that period that maybe opened up?
Not at all. Injury had nothing to do with anything. Like I said, it was just a failure to educate myself fully and be aware of everything about the policy. I came up short in that area, but I know the ins and outs of it now.
Did you know the rules at the time that you couldn't bet on football games?
I knew the rules. Just like I said, just being immature, just gambling, losing control of being aware of exactly what I was doing. So just careless mistake. Yeah.
Did you ever fear that this might not come, another opportunity?
I did. There was times where, it was tough. I didn't know what. It was a lot of uncertainty. But all I could do was just try to put my best foot forward, be a good pro, and just try to prepare to come back. And I'm just so thankful to be back.
What does it mean for it to be here?
It's like a dream, man. I honestly had dreams about this. And I'm so thankful for one, God. Just thankful to be here. I'm thankful for Miss Sheila and Brad and Coach Dan and Rod. So thankful for those guys. Just excited. Got 38 back, man. So it's super exciting and just ready to compete and have fun.
What was it like watching them from afar? What they did?
It was kind of bittersweet. I've been with this team where we didn't win a lot of games, so being in that building and watching those guys win felt great, and just feeling like I should have been there. That was a tough part, but I was super excited for the team, super excited for these guys making plays. I would say a little bittersweet, but a lot more sweet.
It's the second time you sort of wrote it into existence, right? Don't I remember when you came back from after the time that you
Yep.
dreaming about that too?
Yeah, man. That time I with the settlement came back, had the best season of my career. So hopefully trying to do the same thing this time, even better.
How quickly?
You got married during this time off. How important was your wife to this process to keeping you right, and just the support maybe you needed?
I thank God for her, man. She's a champ. She didn't fold at all. She stuck by my side, and just stood behind me and was there when I needed her.
Sort of role is gambling playing in your life now?
Nothing at all. Like, don't even think about it. Anytime I hear about it, just walk away. Yeah.
How quickly did Lions reach out to you when they could about coming back?
It was pretty quick. And I was thankful, super thankful for that. Super thankful.
Did they contact you at all during it, or were you
No.
allowed to? Or?
We weren't allowed to speak. Once the door opened, my agent just told me that they had reached out, and I mean, that was just blessings. I mean, I can't even explain it. I'm just so thankful for him. I thank God.
So what'd you do? How'd you like work out? What'd you do to stay in shape?
I think LAF Gym in Manasquan, New Jersey, they allowed me to come in there and work out 4 days a week, and man, just grinding 4 days a week, just getting after it.
Where do you up there?
My wife is from New Jersey, and that's where we spent our time in a year while we had our son.
Did you have any contact with your teammates during this stretch, or is there any guys you stayed close to?
Yeah, just shooting these guys congrats, a lot of congrats. There was a lot of games we won, and just telling them how exciting it was to see them balling out there.
What do you think of the way the NFL, the rules have changed on gambling since you've been gone?
I think there's a bigger emphasis, and I think that's good. So it's more emphasized, and guys, I think, are even more aware.
Do you see an opportunity to maybe speak to the young guys coming in the league? Just like, don't do this. Like,
For sure. When I hear anybody talking about it, like I said, I would walk away, but if I can help and tell these guys and encourage them, don't even gamble at all, that's my word to them.
To be clear, you didn't bet on Lions games, right?
No, not at all.
How many bets did you place, or what was the extent?
I can't get it. That's in between me and the Lions and NFL.
What do you think of the new kickoff rules? Seems like it's another opportunity to make an impact. on special teams.
A lot more plays are going to be made. I'm super excited about it. I know Phip is going to draw up some crazy stuff, and we'll make a lot of plays.
Are you divvying up those fake opportunities with Jalen?
Oh, man, Jerm had a hell of a season, and he's a heck of a guy. And like I said, whatever Phip draws up, we're open to running it.
Just big picture on that, this brings the return back in the game, I guess, a lot, in some ways, the new kick return rules. So just in general, how do you feel about what it means for special teams, I guess, going forward?
I think it means a lot for a guy like myself, a special team guy in this league. It allows us to make more plays, so we have more value. And the more plays we can make, the more we can help the team, the more games we win.
one more on the gambling thing. Just is the immediacy of having it right there in your pocket, is that what was maybe the biggest challenge for people, when the policy was first put in place?
I'm sorry, could you re-ex that?
Just having the immediacy of being able to gamble right there in your pocket, do you think that kind of contributed to a lot of people, not following the rules right away?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. Just be mature and know when to do it, know when not to. Just don't do it at all. Don't do it at all.
All right, don't worry. That next guy, we're going to get into him next. But one thing that I noticed, man, first of all, shout out to CJ Moore. Shout out to CJ Moore. Shout out to the Detroit Lions. And the reason I said shout out to CJ Moore is because 95% of those questions were about the gambling. Just over and over and over. And that's what you're going to expect. That's what's going to come from what happened. He's going to get this is the first time that he's been in front of the media. It's the first time this guy went from gambling to cut immediately to this is his first time back in front of the media. You know what I saw? Appreciation. I saw a guy that was grateful for an opportunity. And the biggest takeaway from that was, hey, listen, I wasn't mature. I wasn't fully educated, but that's no excuse. Don't do it. Up and comers, don't do it. I'm sure he's had a conversation with Jamison Williams. Hey, listen, learn from what happened to me. Learn from what happened to you. Just don't do it. Don't do it. If you can help yourself, don't do it. So I saw, and I'm glad that the Detroit Lions brought him back. My initial video that I made about absolute shocker was because up until that point, the Detroit Lions hadn't done anything like that. What CJ Moore did was, let's be clear, all right? No matter how you paint the picture, if you are speeding, if you're going 5 over because it's allowed, right? Now, you guys can say what you want. My dad was a state trooper, so I'm a stickler for the rules. I have a CDL right now, and I don't know if you guys know this, but if you have a CDL, you get double points. Police officers, authority figures they're less, they don't give you as many opportunities because you should know better, right? So if you go 5 over and the speed limit is 25 and you're doing 30, you knew that the speed limit was 25, but you chose to do 30, right? You made a conscious choice, which is what it sounds like CJ Moore did. But I see, and Dan Campbell said something. He said something a few years ago. He said, it's only failure if you don't learn from it. That's when it considers it fail. And CJ Moore talked about that they couldn't have any contact during the entire year, right? And that just tells you what kind of character he is compared to maybe Quintez Cephas and the value that he shows. They couldn't have any contact during that year, but immediately, the moment they were able to, the Detroit Lions reached out to CJ's agent to bring him back. So that goes a long way. Did he make a mistake? He knew what he was doing. But he's remorseful. He is appreciative, and he is looking forward to making the most of his opportunity. So CJ Moore, I had to bring this in because we all like the guy, right? But my thought, and I know somebody in the comment section was thinking this as well, you knew what to do. You chose to do something else, right? And isn't that what we're trying to teach the generations behind us, is to be responsible? And that's another thing CJ talked about, is maturity and responsibility. Take full responsibility. I did something dumb, not trying to sugarcoat it. I made a bad choice, which I think he actually used that type of terminology. He used mistake as well, but he made a bad choice. He made a conscious decision to make a bad choice. And unfortunately for him, it got caught. But you never know, man, because sometimes these are like the moments that define you. These moments go a long way for shaping you for the person you're going to be from that day forward. So good to see CJ Moore back, man. Always been a classy guy, always been a special teams, ace. And I'm glad to have him back. A lot of our fake punts and all that stuff, we did miss that a lot last year. And I'm sure he's going to bring a lot of that stuff back. So let me know your thoughts in the comments about CJ Moore. Are you happy that he's back? Were you surprised as I was that the Detroit Lions decided to bring him back? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Take care of yourself and each other, because this channel is brought to you by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. And as always, go Lions.